What's up everyone? Welcome back to Golf Simulator videos. Today, we're gonna turn this golf simulator into a multi-sport arcade. So I'm actually here to do an unboxing and full install video of this TruGolf MultiSport arcade system. What exactly is it? Well, it's a camera-based unit that you can not only install by itself, but also as an add-on to your golf simulator. So I've been talking to a ton of people about this lately. So they might be the golfer in the family, others might not want to golf, they want to play fun things like soccer or cornhole, as you can see on the back. Well, I think there's like 12 plus games inside of this system, all kinds of fun things. They even have zombie dodgeball you can play. So we're gonna actually do a quick unboxing of this unit, show you what it looks like, everything it comes with, then we're gonna install it in this golf simulator and I'll show it in action. So let's go ahead and just start. You'll see the box is actually undone. I cheated this time. So I'm not in the normal GSV studio. We're actually down at Darren Hussey Golf Academy. I figured that this would be a really good space. I have so much going on in the GSV studio. Plus this is applicable, you know, you can just show how this individual setup you can add multi-sport to. So I opened it up and made sure I knew what was in it and what we were going to be showing, if I needed any tools, things along those lines. So first thing you're going to notice when you unbox the unit is you have a bunch of documentation and everything. We'll take a look at that in just a minute. But you can see it actually says interactive sports camera. And it's multiple cameras, and I'll show you that here in just a second. So as I dig through the box, you're gonna start seeing a lot of stuff. So first, this is a baseball batting tee. So this is the unit where you're actually gonna, it will hold the baseball so you can do baseball hitting. There are a couple things that it doesn't come with that I'll tell you guys right up front you're gonna want to look into if those are the sports that you're looking to play. Is it doesn't come with a hockey stick and it doesn't come with the baseball bat, which makes sense. Now, if you just want to do pitching, I think it has everything in here to do that. I'm going to show you all that right now, but there are a couple little accessories. They also have a laser gun available. That is TruGolf specific. If you want to do their shooting game, you're going to need to buy that as an accessory. I'll make sure I put all that information down in the description. Make sure you check out all the discount codes and links I have in all my videos. Always trying to get all of my viewers the best, information and pricing and everything. So feel free to shoot me an email. I also put that in the description and pin it to the top of the comments. So first thing first, yes, they have football. So if you think you're Jared Goff, and I'm bringing that up because the Lions are on a winning streak right now. It's looking good, so I got to mention something about our Lions here in Michigan. But soccer ball, and I actually am really glad I opened up the box because I brought an air pump. So I didn't see an air pump in here, something you probably have at your household, but just so you guys understand. This is going to be a 3.0 USB extension cable. It's actually fiber optic, and I thought that was interesting too, that some of the systems you see out there that I've done, actually a lot of the overhead systems for golf simulators, they all use Ethernet cable. In this case, it's a 3.0 USB, which could be a nice advantage to a lot of people. In this case, I'm actually going to be using my gaming laptop, which I think has 3.2 USB available, so I know we're good there. And then it also has a USB 2.0 extension cable. So I'm going to see how that exactly ties in. I don't know if you need both of them or not. What do we got here? So there's a lot in this box. So this is called the Anywhere Ball Pack. Oh, so it's baseball, so it's soft baseball. So you can throw a soft baseball, family friendly, if you want to call it that, depending on the screen and everything you're using. That makes total sense. I'm saving the hardware for last because it's pretty cool, but check this out. So cornhole bags, which I actually have an old multi-sport system in the GSV studio, and don't get me wrong, it's dated everything, so I'm really excited to see all these different sports. I never even thought of cornhole. I mean, that's amazing. Mine doesn't have that. All right, all kinds of stuff still in this box. So you actually have different types of harder balls. I think this is probably for the hockey that they have. So, I mean, it is just loaded with different sports. And I'll put the full list, maybe I'll even throw it up on the screen when I do the editing. But so football, they actually have the field goal kicking. So get your, actually that was a winning, I gotta keep going on the Lions here. That was a winning field goal last night that we watched in the Lions. It was pretty awesome. All right, so this is an outdoor remote control outlet. Now this is actually pretty cool because this will allow you to turn the system on and off with the remote, I bet. So that's really cool. They actually include that. This says computer controller. Oh, you know what? It does come with the gun. So I'll have to ask them if the package that we went with actually included the shooting gun or not. So I misspoke there. See that? I didn't touch everything in the box yet, and that's why we're kind of learning together, and I always like doing an unboxing so you guys can see every single item and how it comes and what to expect. So I'll make sure I include that information. Now this is interesting. This is actually like a track lighting piece. I can bring it up there. You'll see that it's that insert where you would normally put lights, and there's a reason for that. Now we're gonna pull out the actual multi-sport unit out of the box that it comes in. The first thing that I noticed about this is it's actually quite lightweight. So it's not some crazy heavy unit that you're gonna need 2-3 people, you know, hanging this thing where you're gonna hang it. But it's really unique. So it actually has cameras located up here and then cameras located on the opposite side as well. And that track lighting that I was talking to you guys about, so it actually comes with a mount available. Now we're doing a little more of a temporary install here on a mounting plate, but I mean there's obviously various ways you can do this. It does have screw mounts available, but I'm sure that they probably found that the most common and easy way to get this mounted up was using that, track mount. You could screw that to a ceiling if you have a ceiling, whatever you're working with. There's a lot of different ways. The optimal range that they showed was from the unit is about 8 to 10 feet to the screen. That's optimal, and then obviously the distance that you want, whatever kind of sports that you're playing. But hey, let's get this thing mounted. We'll show you guys a little time lapse of how the install went, and then we'll actually show this thing in action. All right guys, so we have our TruGolf MultiSport ARCADE mounted, and I'm actually gonna talk about that really quick, and then I have some cool bullet points to share with you that I thought were very interesting that I got from TruGolf. So first thing first, I kind of cheated because I actually have a crossbar in this facility and just used a mounting plate and actually zip tied this unit up there. Now that's very unconventional. I don't think that most people would be doing that. They'd probably be either using the included track bar or maybe doing something like this, mounting up on a plate, but not with zip ties, of course. But if it works for you, that's great. I mean, that's very secure. It's not going anywhere. And setting up the unit, what's nice about this system is the TruGolf launcher product that you see behind me is software that actually encompasses not only the MultiSport ARCADE system, but if you have like a TruGolf Apogee system, their overhead launch monitor, and E6 Connect, or Apex software, that all can be in one spot. So this is something that a lot of commercial facilities like, just having something that's easy, one-piece software. It's actually touchscreen enabled, and my laptop that I'm using today is touchscreen, so that's how I'm gonna navigate it today. Now let's talk about a couple things really quick that I think are important. What's wild about the MSA unit, and I'm gonna kind of call it that because MultiSports ARCADE is a lot to keep saying, but it doesn't take a whole lot to run this. So the minimum system requirements are only an i3 processor, 8 gigs of RAM, and a 1070 graphics card. Windows 10, internet connection, and USB 3. USB 3 is important, as I talked about. They use that fiber USB to connect the unit. But you could essentially do this multiple ways. One, it's an awesome add-on to a golf simulator like you see here. But it could also be standalone. And it can be standalone at home or maybe in a commercial facility as well. You don't have to make it a golf simulator. Now don't get me wrong, you'd be getting dual purpose doing something like that, but if you just have a projection screen or enclosure you want to buy and it's all about multi-sport at your home or business, whatever it may be, you can do that, and that's what's great. It's standalone or the perfect add-on. So let's just talk about a couple other things because I just don't want to miss anything. The unit gets installed about 8 to 10 feet away from the screen, and then it's about 8 to 10 feet from the floor. So it should be centered in the booth. That's important. It doesn't work offset. I actually talked about that with TruGolf because we were talking about different installations. The unit does need to be level. USB 3 is important. The unit does require power, so something important to understand if you're planning an installation. And then there are 13 types of play in the launcher, but most of the different games apply to the type of play that you select. So for cornhole, for example, it contains 4 different games inside of cornhole. So that's something that to take note of. So it's not just the games you see here, but the games inside of the games as well. So there's a lot to that. Types of play though, cornhole, hoops or basketball, quarterback football, inside heat, which is baseball pitching, field goal frenzy, which is football kicking, Wild West, which is the light gun that we talked about in the unboxing, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you guys. So there's just a lot of different games, and I actually need to flip my sheet over here. Rally, which is baseball hitting, slap shot hockey, breakaway soccer, TruGolf foot golf, so you can play foot golf with the soccer ball, disc go golf, which is frisbee golf, Bowl-a-Rama, zombie dodgeball. I mean, there's so many games. I'm probably gonna have to do a follow-up video here because I just want to demonstrate this for you guys without having a marathon. And maybe we'll even do a screen recording, because I'll tell you one thing that I noticed is that the graphic quality on everything is also really nice. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. Now, you're gonna have to bear with me here as I start this out. I'm gonna start with cornhole. You know, I'm a sports guy. I play different types of sports, but, you know, playing these for the first time, probably going to need some practice. So bear with me a little bit and we'll see how I manage along the way. So cornhole, I mean, obviously, you know, a favorite backyard game. It's exactly, you know, what you would make of it. But I did notice that, like it mentioned there, that there are games inside of games. So I'm just going to hit resume game there. I'm going to hit play. Don't have to worry about settings. I'll leave it on the medium difficulty, even though that, you know what you can do, which is pretty cool. I'm actually gonna go back here really quick. Player setup. Let's change my bag to yellow because I'm using yellow. I just thought that was pretty cool. And look at that, you can actually do like in infinite colors, but we'll just kind of do like a yellowish type bag. And then we'll do, there's all kinds of games in here. I mean, you could do, you know, cornhole toss like you'd be playing, you know, against someone, tic-tac-toe. We'll do 301. Just go next, and that'll load up. That's cool how you can change the cornhole color, though. So depending on who's playing, you could have different color, you know, bags, at your house or facility, and you'd know exactly who's up and who's sitting where. I mean, that's well thought out in my opinion. So you're trying to reach 0 without busting. And obviously distance here is going to be challenging and how you want to flop it, but it knows if it's low, it knows if it's up. So I'm going to kind of do like a toss. Oh, not bad. On the first time, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I threw a couple practice. We did a couple practice things here ahead of time just to see, but notice how when I'm throwing it though, the way it's like taking off, the way that I'm throwing it. See how that was lower? Dive before the board. So, I mean, you get it. It's as simple as that. And I'm impressed the way that these cameras can track all these different types of objects. I mean, I just wouldn't have thought that, you know, bags would have been this real life experience. You know, it's really cool. So let's move on to another game. I'll just hit pause, exit game, and then it takes us here back to the launcher platform. And I will show you hoops. So there's actually a game in here that I think, you know, and this is a mix. It could be adults, it could be kids. It totally depends on, you know, what you're looking to do or entertain, you know, who you're entertaining. But this one that I found, I thought was somewhat easy for younger kids. And I think that's important. I mean, something I was talking about is like here at this facility, I was talking to the pro. So Darren Hussey has a golf academy here. And when this is installed, I feel like we're gonna kind of do like some beta testing to see, like, there's a lot of younger kids, juniors, that do golf, you know, instruction, and they're getting lessons. Well, what if you could tell them, hey, let's do the best job you can at your lesson today, and then we're gonna shoot some hoops at the end. I personally think that that would be a motivator. I mean, I think that it would be fun. I think that it'd be something that the kids would remember and want to come back and get more lessons. So let's look at this multiple ways here. The home entertainment way, let's look at it, you know, on the commercial side of things, as it could be integrated with not only like maybe a bar or entertainment type facility, but also in the professional environment. So notice how it said, don't go throwing your ball up into your MSA, not recommended at all. But so check this out, I'm gonna go up to my tee position and I'm just gonna go up high. Not bad, not bad. I mean, you know, for kids hoops, but maybe I need to be on that level. It's taking off right where I'm hitting it. I mean, I gotta, oh, then it starts moving, fast break. See if I can get this. Oh, oh, and see how I tried to shoot over to the right? I mean, I just think that kids would have a blast at this. I love everything about it. You know, easy to play, easy to set up. And I will tell you that, you know, I'm not going to take you through the calibration process. I could always do a separate video if people want to see it, you know, to just do a calibration video. But it's really easy. It's amazing what the cameras can see, and you just pick the corners of the screen, then you pick the area. And like in this type of space, it's, you know, not a flat space where this hitting mat is. You could just move the hitting mat. But what's wild is you don't have to if you don't want to. It works right off of it. So, and I'm going to demonstrate that because the next thing I think we'll show, since I have this in my hand, is soccer. So let's go play some breakaway soccer. And I've learned my lesson on breakaway soccer when we were testing this, that I'm more of an easy level player. We had it on medium, and it wasn't just me either. Multiple people trying to score on this guy. I don't know who the best goalie is right now in some of the top soccer leagues, or football, as the Europeans would say. But let me tell you right now, it's not easy on medium. So we'll just go one player. Doesn't matter on the rounds, and we're going to go easy. And I could always show you medium too. I could show you medium, but the medium's legit. And what's cool is I'm going to try, I'm not a soccer player by any means, but I'm going to try to hit like a grounder over to the right. Oh, he got it. So even on easy, I got to pick up the speed. But I could also, and I don't know the proper way to do this, but if I wanted to lift the ball up, I got it by him. I hit it right in that corner. So the tracking is just fantastic. I would think you would need like some crazy expensive system. And I talk about my original system that has like cameras all over the place and above you, and this is this little portable unit. So let's say I'm just gonna go right at him. Oh, he dove, it says blocked. Okay, he got it. All right, I'll give you that. Oh, that was terrible. Do you see that? I was trying to kind of spin it over to the left. So, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do with the ball. I mean, it's definitely going to fly in the direction and the height, which I think is really important. I'll just kind of kick this one up and at him. Oh, he got that? Man, you just got a hand on it is all. So even on easy, this guy's pretty good, I'm telling you. All right, so I kind of saved the best for last. And like I said, there's so many games. We could probably do a follow-up on this. But notice what I have connected here is their little laser gun, or kind of camera gun. It's really wild, the technology on this. So let's go back, and I'll go to Wild West. And I will give you a teaser that they have another game coming now. So they call this a light gun, but what's amazing about it is it's like a camera actually that's seeing the screen is the way this really works. So they have another one coming, and it looks pretty cool. It's like a hunting game. So I'll kind of give you that teaser, and while I give you that teaser about the hunting game they have coming, there's a couple things to talk about. And I'll have to ask them the proper way to get out, because it says that I have games running, and I don't know if it's because I had these running before and I didn't exit out of them properly. So I'll have to ask them that. So it wants to recognize my light gun. It recognizes it, and I'm already on the screen, and you can see me moving around. There's a couple things to point out though. So one, there's a hunting game coming. It's really cool. They're gonna have an accessory that you can buy that's like a force feedback, like shotgun. So when you shoot it, it's gonna have like a kick to it, like it'll go off. So I thought that was pretty cool. But a whole new game, and the licensing, the way this works is you own the license. So this isn't a subscription type software. So when you buy the TruGolf MSA, you are going to own it. So that means if they release a new game, they're gonna give it to you. And I'm impressed. Now that's at least the way they do it right now. So that was really cool. So I actually don't need to use my computer if I don't want to. There is something to point out here. You wanna be far enough back to where it can see you, because sometimes you might struggle in the corner if you're not far enough back. So let's just go play game. We'll do one of the kids, I would assume, favorites, Young Guns. And this is just kind of a free-for-all. So I'm just gonna hit the A, I'll hit the G, I'll hit the S. We'll kind of knock the the doll's head off here, whatever he does, I don't know, he spins around. The monkey can go off if you shoot up there. And what they've done with this is they've actually made it to where when you stop, it kind of stops just a little bit, so you're not sitting there kind of shaking too much. But this is a free-for-all. I mean, you can just go through here and kids could just be target practicing and having a blast. So I will show you one more part of that, and I could actually hit this menu if I wanted to with the light gun. But there is also different games inside of here, and I figured why not show you one. There's one where you actually go out to like kind of like a saloon and you're shooting little targets. So let's see if we can do that. I think it's maybe Raging Inferno. Yeah, saloon. And you can unlock different things. And I'm just using my touchscreen like I said, but I could be using this as well. So you got it. 60 seconds to take out as many critters as you can. So see the little targets above their head? Now this one is definitely more on, you know, the skill level. I mean, you really need to keep your eyes out for where they're popping up, and then you have to just be able to get that target. You can shoot as many times as you want, so I guess I should be, you know, kind of rapid firing a little more. But I mean, as an adult, this is fun. I mean, it's a good alternative, you know, whether you're converting your golf simulator, you know, whether you're going to do it as a standalone, not converting, I should say either, but as an add-on. So, TruGolf MultiSport ARCADE, simple installation, can work in so many different environments. I honestly can't wait to hear what everybody has to say. I mean, ask questions down below, things that you'd like to see. Be more than happy to do a follow-up on this because this is kind of a trial period for myself as well. I think that this is just a fantastic system, and I'm happy to, you know, work with you. Shoot me an email. I always, you know, pin at the top of the comments and put in the description. We'll make sure that, you know, it works in your space. Maybe you're looking to package it up with a DIY golf simulator or commercial golf simulator. I mean, my partners have been just killing it lately, helping all of my viewers with just amazing builds. So, you know, I appreciate you guys, you know, reaching out because it does help support the channel. And stay tuned, there'll be a lot more coming soon.